New here at 5, Duluth City Councilors have decided to push their own pay raise off by another year. During last night's meeting, councilors amended a proposal that would have bumped their pay next year. Instead, it will now start in 2027. Councilors say it's a tough budget year ahead, so they wanted to lighten the load a bit for 2026. As we first reported last week, the change will bring each councilor's pay from about $13,800 to about $18,600 a year. That increase was recommended by the city's charter commission, something voters gave them the authority to do back in 2015. The council is then supposed to vote on that recommendation, but that's something many of them felt uncomfortable deciding on last night.
There should be some sort of independent body that looks at not just council pay, but also mayoral. It seems fairly inappropriate that the council also has to set the mayor's salary, which that introduces a whole bunch of different personal dynamics in how we work with the mayor.
City leaders say being on the council is considered a part-time position and doesn't come with city benefits. Many of the councilors also have separate full-time positions. By the way, Duluth's mayor makes $97,500 a year, which was approved by the council in 2013. And for comparison's sake, Rochester, Minnesota city councilors, who represent a community of similar size, are paid about $56,000 annually. However, today, Rochester city staff told us that that's considered a full-time position.